Hello again. I'm Henry T. Merry Christmas to all of you, wherever you're catching us today. New Mexico, around the United States, around the world. Merry Christmas. Today, we do an encore on our close friend, Kelvin Scarborough. He passed away a month ago, and my phone line gets inundated with Henry. Can you run that interview again? By your request, here is that interview one more time. If you know, mail me a note. The Henry T. This is a pod. Not interested in pods. I am interested in doing the best sports show for you, and you've been there. You're helping us develop the most popular sports show in New Mexico right now, and the numbers are proving it out because you're there, and I appreciate it, believe me. And my friends are coming to help me through this comeback. Today, another friend has joined me. He's got a story, oh my goodness. He's going to have your undivided attention in just a second. People describe him as not only the best Lobo point guard, but the best point guard in Mountain West or WAC history, because he's big point guard, 6'2", 6'3". I mean, quick as an alley cat, ran like a deer, high jump star. I mean, no point guard in Lobo history can say they had the leaping ability of Kelvin Scarborough. Wow. On top of that, a giver. Two kinds of people in our world, givers and takers. He's one of the greatest givers we will ever meet.
All right, sweet.
And his story will convince you of that. Back in the day, what a thrill for all of us to go to Lobo games in the 80s and watch this man play. Today, he's come to visit you again. Didn't take much. Scar, come to the show and talk to all your fans. Man, he got fired up and pumped, and he's pumped up today. Ladies and gentlemen, here he is, your favorite point guard of all time throughout the league, Kelvin Scarborough.
Hey, I appreciate that, Henry. You know, you knew me since I was 18 years old. I'm 55 now, so always had a joy with hanging around you. Always had a ball with being in the community, being in the state, and especially playing on that pit floor. So you know, it's just a family. It's just one big family.
You know, Coach Colson went to D.C., him and Shiat, and they went into your neighborhood.
Oh yeah.
And they told me, Henry T., we only had to go there once. And he said, yes, we got him on the dotted line here.
Yeah.
And the word was out that highly sought after Kelvin Scarborough, Jim Valvano wanted you,
Right.
John Thompson wanted you. There's a list of top coaches in the country that wanted you to be a player for them.
Right.
Congratulations, and congratulations to us. We got him. You watched him play, Lobo Stars.
Yeah.
How did you say no to Valvano and John Thompson and that list, Dean Smith and all the rest?
Well, I mean, it was kind of a big choice because I had about 60 to 70 scholarship offers from Boston College all the way down to North Carolina State to Virginia to, I mean, it was just different out here. And my mom said, Kelvin, you lived in D.C. your whole life. You need to get out and see the world. So the first time I came in the pit, it was over. It was a wrap.
Really?
Yeah, when I went to the football game and when I think it was the green chili. They gave me a green chili burger when I came out on a
No
recruiter.
kidding?
And I saw a road runner. So I
A road runner in the green chili.
oh, I went back
That's
home.
all it took.
Yeah, that's all it took. And a hot air balloon.
How about the arrival when you walked down the ramp and saw the pit?
Oh, that was amazing. When I came out on a recruiting visit, Henry, it was so funny that I didn't have cable in my house. So I stayed over Coach Shot's house, and he had one of them boxes where you hit all the buttons.
Yeah.
So I stayed up to 6 o'clock in the morning hitting buttons because I never seen cable before.
Wow.
And then when I went to practice to look at the team, I fell asleep. And Coach said, "Oh, we wasted a recruiting visit." And Coach said, "Don't wake him up." I was in the bleachers asleep. And I woke up, we went to the football game. But it was so amazing, that pit. I mean, because it was just super, you know.
18,000 seats
Oh, yeah.
on that day.
Yeah, it was amazing. Just to be down there and look at the crowd and feel the energy. It was just straight energy that I felt here. And I knew that this place was going to make me special, to where it's been 37 years and I'm still here because I
Wow.
knew something. I knew something about New Mexico in the Southwest that I wanted to be in, you know. So
Man,
it was great.
thank you for coming here. You've given us so many thrills as a Lobo. But then after that,
Yeah,
becoming a coach here,
yeah,
coaching very difficult situations.
yes,
You took on the responsibility of teaching almost unteachable basketball situations. Next thing we look, you've got them in the pit.
yeah. I mean,
You have this gift. What is that gift?
just caring about the youth and caring about people. I mean, if you're going to coach, you're also a teacher. So you have to care about whatever you're doing. I don't care what work you're doing. I don't care what field you're in. You have to believe that you're doing the right thing. And my thing is that I had some great, you know, you've been in my neighborhood. We had some people that come in there who have sacrificed their lives to coach us.
You want to tell that story real quick? Washington, D.C., your neighborhood. Tell the story when
it was
Bear, my son
Yeah.
Aaron, and I went there
Yeah.
to broadcast the game on television, and you said, "Henry T, let's go into my neighborhood."
Oh, it was,
Tell the story.
It was we was playing Georgetown, of course, and I had a chance to go back home, so that was amazing. And I took half of my teammates around my neighborhood, one of the roughest neighborhoods in Washington D.C. at the time, and of course me and you went around and you had the camera, and people start running up because they haven't seen me in a year or two, and your eyes got this big because you're like, "Kelvin, they coming to get us." I say, "No, Henry, they're my friends." And we ended up having a great time, and people saw that people from New Mexico would come all the way out here to do a documentary, and they embraced that. And after that,
Yeah.
a couple of more guys signed out here from that area.
Really?
Charlie Thomas, you know.
Wow.
Yeah, all them. And then I tried to get Michael Graham to come out because he left Georgetown after 1 year. Great friend of mine. But Lynn Bias tried to get me to go to Maryland.
Wow.
Yeah, because we played at 15, 16. England, you had you had Rob Leffel, you had a lot of us
Wow.
who we didn't know the effect of the energy, because we was all freshmen. But you had your Phil Smiths, you had your Alan Delinskys, your Nelson France, and you had your TJ, and it was like freshmen and seniors, but they kind of mentored us to what. And I give a lot of credit. To some of the former Lobos, Marvin Johnson, Phil Abney, Michael Cooper, who took us under their wings. Petey Gibson, Pekorski, and they always say, "This is what you need to do. This is what you don't need to do." But you have to really appreciate the people, because they stand outside, they buy tickets. Is a line wrapped around the pit at the time, and that's something you don't see today. The student body, the whole university will be at the game, plus the whole city and the whole state. So that's something that I wish and I hope the Lobos can realize, the current Lobos can realize. These people come to see you play from all around. They save up their money, they bring the children.
Yeah.
And you have to go back out in the community and embrace them. It don't matter, because I've done camps all on the native reservation. I've been to every small town in New Mexico, and
Wow.
it don't even matter. It doesn't matter who their fan is. You go there, because sometimes they can't make it here. So you have to be to where you could go there and really say thank you.
Wow. You certainly did that.
Oh, I had a great
Because
time. Yeah.
if we took a vote around the state, because of your giving philosophy and your giving ways, giving to those small communities as you have, you might be hands down the most popular Lobo ever, the most popular, because the way you have given back.
Well, I was taught that. You know, we didn't grow up with a lot of money, but you grew up with respect. Like you say, I've been around the world, you know, but I always done it out of respect. But I always come back here because Lobo Land always respected me. And now New Mexico, because they know I go to Las Cruces and do a camp. I go to Western, where Western at, and Hobbs and Highland in Las Vegas, New Mexico. So it doesn't matter. I'm all about trying to help to do the right thing for our youth to come up.
And people describe you as the articulate one. You're always expressing yourself so well. and that's been a catalyst for you to reel all those thousands of New Mexico residents in,
Right.
and then go to their high schools and teach the game.
Yeah.
Native American communities, whatever.
I've even done camps in Mexico and
Wow.
El Paso. It doesn't matter. It's that I was blessed with somebody paying attention to me. So my job now is to come back and pay attention to them and their offsprings.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Gary Colson was your coach.
Right.
Might have been the perfect individual to regroup and rebuild Lobo basketball after we had our Lobo game.
Yeah. And people.
Gary Colson, when you think of him, the person he was to you, what comes to mind?
Well, I just think he came at the right time with the right philosophy to say, I'm going to just go get 6 freshmen to build with the 5 seniors. And Coach Shai was one of the, probably the most important one that recruited me. Bob Lanford too.
Yeah.
So Coach Shai, I was in the gym. He came to my school, and he came at night. And we was in there. I said, Coach Shai, did you park outside? He said, yes. I said, I said, Coach, he parked outside. And Coach, we went out there. His car was on blocks.
Come on.
I asked Coach Shai today.
Really?
Yeah. And he said, Kelvin. He didn't get up and say, Kelvin, do you still like New Mexico? I said, I like them enough to sign.
Wow. See?
So,
and I don't want to discredit your community where you grew up.
My community is great.
But it was a tough neighborhood.
No, it was tough back in the 80s in all communities, in a lot of communities, in the 70s and 80s. But it was like, I had the best time. I grew up right across the street from RFK Stadium. You know, it was just 1 block away. And I grew up, about 10 blocks away from the White House.
Yeah.
But I tell people I lived in a white apartment building, so that was the White House. So it was just love. It was just a lot of love growing up in that era in D.C. Teachers cared about you from elementary to high school. It's the same thing out here. And I see a lot of people that we grown together with. And we still out here embracing each other. And that's something that I would love to talk to the current Lobos about.
Yeah.
You never know if you want to stay here. So always connect and build a network to where you could go anywhere in the state, you could do a lot of things, but it's going to take a community. It's not individual. It's going to take a community.
I'll never forget. My son was having all the kids in the fourth grade had an assignment. Bring somebody to class that we all need to meet. And the kids brought their dad, their mom, and a neighbor, a fireman, a police officer. It was filled with a variety of people. And then my son, who was with me at every Lobo practice every day, got to hang out with the Lobos. They taught him how to shoot and handle the ball, and Scar became one of his favorites. And he went up to Coach Scarborough one day, or then Mr. Scar, Kelvin, to him, would you be my guest at my special event on Friday? And Scar, with his great character and love for the community and his friendship with my son Bear, he said, yeah, give me the address. What time do I need to be there? And my son wrote it all out to him, even gave him a little map and directions of where Grego
we didn't have GPS at the time.
Amen. And suddenly Scar shows up that Friday, and my son had no doubt his buddy Scar was going to be there. Yes. And then he said, this is my guest, Lobos, Kelvin Scarborough. Suddenly we had every kid in the school peeking into the classroom. All the teachers came by to visit, the principal, everybody wanted to see Kelvin Scarborough, who was in Bear's fourth grade class. Do you remember that moment?
Oh, it was wonderful. That's part of being a Lobo. That's part about, embracing the community. And I think you told me, you said, Kelvin, I think we're going to turn this into an assembly. We have to, because everybody.
It was. That's the best word.
You said, I think we got to go to the auditorium.
Yeah.
But that was one of my most funnest days, Henry. And I always share that memory with a lot of people about these athletes that stay on campus and don't realize there's a community outside of campus. And just to go there and embrace kids. I remember, I'm going to tell you about this story. Used to be the young kid come up to Johnson Gym. We used to play ball. And this young kid would come with his basketball and just sit there until he got in about the 9th grade. And I said, you want to play? And he said, I can play with y'all? I said, yes. And nobody wouldn't pick him, but we picked me and Hunter Green, and I think Larry Markley, we picked them. Say, you can run with us. Because we saw the dedication. Ended up being one of the best Lobos of all time. That was Greg Brown.
Wow.
Yeah. And Greg wasn't afraid. I say, Greg, as long as you can shoot the jumper, look, I'd get you the ball. But Greg would not miss.
Is that a great story?
And he ended up being, then we used to go to his games at Albuquerque High. And then down at New Mexico Junior College. But Greg always had that determination to put the work in and wasn't afraid. Because I say, Greg, always try to foul out their big men and their guards. And the game will be yours.
What did I tell you? That you would be entertained and be totally entwined with this young man today. What a story Kelvin Scarborough has brought us today. Go on. And
it's just things like that when you do a camp, Marvin Johnson used to take me around Field Avenue, and then the Coop camp, but Marvin used to take me around the state. And I always appreciated that. And then when you see the kid make their first basket or dribble down the court for the first time or stay in line to be disciplined, And the parents would come and say, well, I can't get them to stand still for 5 minutes, and y'all get to. But they could feel that we care about them. And that's what it's all about.
Wow.
That's what John Thompson used to do to us, and other sports legends, Bobby Danridge and Elvin Hayes and Larry Brown used to play for the Washington Redskins. They all used to come in our communities. And I always remember that how they impact us by saying we didn't have to go where they was at, they would come where we was at. And one year the Washington Bullets at the time, they won the championship, and some of them came around our neighborhood. So that was great.
Wow.
That was great.
In the fire, coming down the ramp,
Yeah.
you see the crowd. You got a big opponent on the floor. Maybe it was Fennis Dimbo that night.
Yeah.
Whomever. Man, you played so charged up. You were so quick, so fast.
Yeah.
Your jumping ability, your leadership. You were exciting to watch, Scar. You really were. How excited were you to play in front of that atmosphere?
Well, I don't know if I was the best all-time ball player, but I was going to make sure I'd give the fans a show. I was probably an exciting ball player, and they could feel my love for them, and I could feel their love for me. And, just coming down, even just driving up to the pit before the game, there used to be lines wrapped around the arena for tickets.
Yeah.
We used to see people sleep outside for tickets. Hey, man, we got to play hard. You see them people out there? And that's what gave you that energy.
Wow.
And then running down that ramp, it was incredible.
In the game, big opponent.
Yeah.
You got the ball. What's it like?
Oh, just you was the controller. You control everything. But at the same time, the team is about the team. And you had to come down. You had to be that quarterback when you used to see Tom Brady or somebody else or some great quarterbacks and great baseball players get up to hit that home run or get a hit. You have that same feeling. And my main thing was never to embarrass the University of New Mexico and the fans.
Amen.
And my mom, of course, my mom.
And then, if I can throw a stat out there, I'm going to look it up.
Yeah.
But we've had a lot of brilliant point guards here. I don't even have to look. Of all the point guards we had here, he's got the slam dunk record for point guards. Your leaping ability was incomparable.
Well, I had to learn that because
Wow.
the guys I played with back home growing up, they was Michael Graham, Danny Furry, Len Bias, and they would go block your shot or they'd put you on the ground. So we had to finish if you went to the basket. And once I learned that, like in 9th and 10th grade, then my assists can go up, which I probably in the record books for NCAA with 21 assists in one game against Hawaii.
Man, you could dunk. You could run the floor.
Yeah.
And we were anticipating that dunk, and you put it down 2 hands one night at Colorado State, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
You remember, you could finish the story for me. Last play of the game. Ball out of bounds. Mike Winters is going to throw it in for the Lobos.
Yes.
They set up a play that I think was suddenly, they said, no, not good enough play, coach. They got the Winters gets the ball to Scar. He takes it the length of the floor, 4 seconds left, dunks it over Pat Durham at the buzzer. And Henry T's eyes got that big. I couldn't believe my eyes.
Oh, that was great.
Wasn't that a moment in Lobo time?
Matter of fact, me and Mike changed the play. Colson drew up something. I say, Mike, no, I'm going to run a post pattern. I'm going to run a post, a football play. Because we used to play football, during our training sometimes. I say, Mike, I'm going to run a post pattern. And he hit me right like he was John Elway or somebody.
Wow.
Hit me right in stride where I didn't have to lose, turn back, and kept going. And that was great. Colson and Shad them jumped so high, I thought they could dunk that night after they jumped up.
You saw it in front of you. What did you see? You see Pat Durham with 6'8"?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I saw where he was coming. He was really gonna come to block it or knock me down. So I knew I had to bump him and still finish. And that was just something that, you know, you grow up doing sometime.
Game over.
Yeah, yeah. But, you know, I had some great shooters, so they couldn't really get straight on me because I had Kelly Graves and Hunter Green and Kelly Graves. So I'm dishing it out or I'm taking it. So we had like weapons to do that. And you know, I must give all my teammates from Phil Smith to Hunter to Mike to Kelly to everybody, to the ones who didn't play a lot, who Stan Wisnets and the Bob Arnolds and the guys who came through and they made you better in practice.
Yeah.
And I think that's more important than the game sometimes, because they make you better because they know your moves. And like I say, me and Hunter and Mike and we came out here together in 1983. We stood out here. We like, matter of fact, we more like family than our family.
If you enjoy this interview, write it to our producer and put it on the screen. George Scott says, "Hi, Henry. Hi, Scar. Tell me about George Scott."
Oh, George was the first one that Patrick Ewing didn't knock on when we played Georgetown here.
Pat Ewing will never forget George Scott.
George Scott was probably him and now's Doc Johnny Brown probably was so influenced to us because they used to they had to deal with a bunch of young guys with a lot of energy, so they toned us down to where, hey, stay focused. Stay focused. And like I said, I really appreciate all of them. And like I say, a lot of my influence came from ex-Lobos, from PD, like you say, Marvin, Phil, Russell, Coop. I talked to Coop last week. Yeah, I talked to Coop. I keep in touch with everybody. Charles Smith, Clayton Shields.
Wow. We're going to have a family reunion.
Oh, we have to. We have to.
Because that's family to you.
And I ran into Mel Daniels, and I ran into, you know, Ira Hodge, of course.
Yeah.
But I also like the community guys. You know, it's just, I grew with them. From 18 to 55, I got great friends out here that I grew with who didn't play for the Lobos, but we used to play rec ball. Like, you know, Darren Sanchez and all that time. Ed Nunez. And
see, look at the names.
Yeah.
Frederick Trujillo says, Kelvin is educating what it is to be a Lobo. That compliment.
Yeah, I mean, we know the Lobos can win. We know that for sure. They have a great team for the last 2-3 years, but I always stress out, and I want to talk to them, but the coaches kind of hold you back. I mean, I ain't gonna say they hold you back, but they never let us go into their locker room. Not me, but I always say it's what they do off the court is what's gonna make them better on the court, and they gotta hear that from somebody who's been through it.
Wow.
And it's not somebody, when you go in there and talk as an ex-Lobo, don't always talk basketball. Talk about what not to do off the court to any player from elementary, middle school, high school, and college, and even pro. What you do off the court is going to determine what you do on the court.
Kelvin, you were so good. We thought Lakers.
Oh, yeah.
New York Knicks for sure.
Yeah.
But sometimes, as Marvin was in here the other day, and he says, sometimes you get drafted by the wrong team.
Yeah.
The wrong situation. And because of contracts and money invested in certain players,
yes,
you're done before you get a chance to start.
That's just the numbers. It's called the numbers game.
What happened?
My situation was kind of different from the numbers game. My best friend had just passed away, Len Bias.
Oh.
So at that time, DC had a stigma on it. Ball players would take their money and invest it back into the hustling game. So they kind of stayed away a little bit, because it was about 4 or 5 of us who didn't go pro, was supposed to go pro. And then when I went up with the Denver Nuggets, when I got drafted, I was in veteran camp, but it was a strike that summer, so we didn't get to play. So it was just things that were
circumstances.
Just like somebody built a dam in front of you. They built 5 of them.
For you.
Yeah, but it was, you know, Henry, I wouldn't be the person I was today if I went to the league.
He has a story that is compelling. You coached Manal.
For 12
Got
years.
great teams in there. They went to the state tournament. Big crowds at Manal High School.
Yeah.
Coach Scar doing the job. But when he really got our attention was when he took on maybe the challenge of all time for coaches, the detention school.
Oh, yeah.
Puts them all together. I don't know how they did it legally in a bus or whatever the rules were,
Yeah.
but you had to follow the rules.
Yeah.
Takes them to the tournament. Tell us that compelling story.
I think that was one of the greatest times of my basketball career. When you juvenile detention center, it's called Foothill High School, and Coach Barker, Angela Barker, she had just got the job, and she's like, Kelvin, can you come help me? I said, of course, I would love to come there and help. That's one of my things I would love to do. And so we had 25 kids try out the first week.
Wow.
And they like, oh, it's been exciting. And I said, okay. And I told them all to look on the wall. It was bad. Nothing on the wall. I said, we're going to put something up there. I don't know what we're going to put up there, but it's going to be something. And just to take them kids and see their faces light up on their first win. And then we won district. And I never had a Gatorade bath before as a coach, but they poured Gatorade on my head.
Wow.
To win the district. And then we ended up going to state.
Really?
And 7 kids graduated from there, and 5 of our kids made all district. And
What was that like?
Oh, it was, I think everybody need to go experience that. I think every kid who play ball, high school ball, need to go in there and play against them so they can feel they blessed to be doing what they want to do.
But nobody ever paid attention to them like you did.
Right.
You became their father figure
Oh, I just cared because
and
I
taught
know.
them the game they love to play in a more organized fashion.
Right. And they was all from different neighborhoods. They was there for some serious reasons. And I always looked at the movie, The Longest Yard. Hey, remember the quarterback, Burt Reynolds, Scarborough.
Yeah.
So I just took the A, no matter where you're at. But you know who I learned from was John Thompson. He went and got Iverson from jail.
Really?
And I told that story to them. They didn't know Iverson was in jail. After high school, he won a championship in football and basketball. He had got in some trouble.
Wow.
And Iverson said, John Thompson said, no, that's a good kid. And ended up being a Hall of Famer. So I always been around that type of atmosphere sometimes where guys don't make the best, the right decision or the wrong, or many decisions. But at the same time, when you know you get another chance and somebody really believe in you, you're going to get them all you have.
Oh, amen.
Yeah.
Read that bottom note there.
The great Henry T.
Who's it from?
Mike Romero.
Yeah. One of the great all-time point guards, 5'5".
Yeah.
Coach Ellenberger was going to recruit him. Then Lobogate hit. And Mike, only 5'5", was going to be a Lobo point guard.
Right.
But all that stuff got in the way.
Yeah.
So it moved him out of the picture. Mm-hmm. So I would love to see a game.
I appreciate it, Mike.
In his prime and your prime, one-on-one.
I think you take 7 to 8 point guards, Lobo history, we probably could beat some of the forwards and centers. Just point guards. Just point guards.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like I say, guys like I call them my family, Marvin Johnson and Hunter Green and Niles and George and Mike and everybody from PD to Ira Hodge to I got to sit down with Mel Daniel. And one of my influences when I was coming out here, I didn't know really too much about New Mexico, was Bad News Bonds from UTEP.
Really?
Yeah, he's telling Kelvin, you're going to be fine. They love great basketball down there. You go down there. And that's Jim Barbano had called me. And my family was from North Carolina, as I was telling you. They was from the Raleigh and Wake Forest area. So,
well, how could you say no to Jim Valvano?
Well, come
on, tell me the story.
Spud Webb had just signed. So I said, I'm not sitting behind nobody for 2 years. That just was my frame of mind.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I knew I could play there. Because I wanted to go to North Carolina. But Kenny signed in October, Kenny Smith. And then me and Pearl Washington was supposed to go
Jet?
Yeah, then me and Pearl Washington was talking about going to Syracuse together.
Really?
Yeah, so I say, no, I want my own,
And then Mom got involved.
Oh, my mom said, hey, Kelvin, you're not standing around here, not with all the danger. And she say, look, you made a commitment to New Mexico, that's where you're going.
Wow.
And I love her.
Tell me about Mom and her great character and her courage and how many children to take care of.
My mom had 8 children, and she passed away,
God bless her.
And it was just so. She used to work every day. She only been at 2 of my games, my last Lobo game and my last high school game, because she always had to work. And she brought me some shoes one time. They cost about $15, and I told her I was gonna quit. She said, no, I worked all day to buy you them shoes. So I never quit a team again. I think I was 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, what I saw her go to work every day cleaning up houses in Georgetown.
It's getting emotional.
Yeah.
It's got me there too. Tears in Scar's eyes as he remembers his beautiful mom. What a story we bring you today.
She
Go on.
She got help raise the whole neighborhood. You see my neighborhood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell me in detail about Mom. What does she make you for dinner? How hard does she work?
She's come
How
home.
does she get back and forth to work?
She used to catch the bus every day, subway, no matter what weather. She'd get all of us up, made us, and all my brothers, my sister, everybody successful because we learn respect. And you care about somebody. And you always try to do the right thing. Wow. So.
Your favorite meal that Mom made you?
Oh, everything. And then when my mom came, the funny thing, when my mom came out here, I say, Mom, you got to try some green chili. She's, and I think we was at, what's the one on Yale, the restaurant, remember that one? Yale and University at the time.
Yeah.
Anyway, we was at that, and my mom, the guy brought out green chili stew. She thought it was a stew. She said, I didn't order no relish. I say, Mom, that's green chili. And then I remember my first time trying New Mexico food, and we bit the whole tamale with the husk and everything. We like, they got some tough food out here. Henry, I said, me and Larry Martin, we was hungry, and they brought us hey, let me just point out something. I love my families in New Mexico. The Vargas family, Tony and Diane, they embraced me since I was 18. They still embrace me today.
Wow.
The Estrada family.
Yes.
Different families out here. They've been my family since I've been out here. And they love me like one of their child. And my mom always told me that's what it's about.
Look at the people who are calling in for you. Radasi, Freddie Trujillo, George Scott, Jamie Shouts, Adam Beadle, former Las Cruces High School superstar.
Yeah.
Juan Martinez, former great tennis coach at Valley. Michael Evans, Chito Reyes, former Aggie great.
Yeah.
You got his attention today. Carmela Garcia, great athlete. John Trahan.
Yeah.
Trump. Wow.
Well, that's just,
And thousands more. Look at that. Here they come.
Yeah.
Dr. Ron Maestas, Hall of Famer. Look at the people you're bringing out today, Scar.
Yeah,
see, and it's not by accident. We're moving up.
Right.
And I don't say it egotistically.
Yeah.
People tell me this. I'm at an intersection the other day, and they're trying to get my attention. I said, man, I hope they don't shoot me or something. So I rolled down my window. They said, Henry T., we love your show. It's the best in New Mexico. So
let me tell everybody, Henry was our first ESPN. We used to watch his highlights. We used to run back and watch the news, and Henry put up our highlights, and we was like, oh, okay, Henry.
And I loved every minute of it.
Yeah.
Greatest job I ever had was to be the voice of the Lobos.
Right. You used to come out dunk contests in practice, and you just embraced us. You just and that's what it's about. And I think Van Tate is doing a great job, and some of the other sportscasters.
God bless you.
Yeah, some of the other
My
sportscasters.
son Bear was with me at the practices, and you would show them how to shoot.
Yeah, that's
And
what it's
became a
about.
pretty good shooter in high school.
Yeah.
Showed him how to handle the ball. Johnny Brown was there to help him learn the tough part of the game.
One thing I'm gonna stress, I think every athlete, high school team, should go coach, and college should go coach Special Olympic for 1 week. Me and Hunter, Larry Markler,
Yes.
Niles Dockery, in 1984, 85, we coached the Special Olympics.
Tell me the story.
Oh, that was one of my best teams. That was, Henry, that was one of my best. We had so much fun. And one of the little kids named Jerry, we brought the team in the pit to practice with us. And Rob Leffo blocked his shot. And he said, if you block my shot again, I'm going to punch you in the stomach.
Really?
So Rob blocked this shot, and he chased Rob all around the pit. Rob Leffo 7 feet. This guy's 4'11". And we had so much fun. But they loved it. They embraced it. And they took second in the state in Special Olympics. And that, to me, that was like, appreciate your gift. You know, always appreciate it, to where I think they should, like you say, the Juvenile Detention Center and the Special Olympics was one of some of my finest times. And I always remember that.
Yeah. And people say you could have been the quarterback of your football team.
Oh,
because you could throw the ball a mile.
Yeah.
You could hit the ball a mile and run the bases faster than any baseball player in D.C. history. And you played those sports.
Yeah.
Why basketball and not the others?
Well, people, if you talk to anybody in D.C., they believe football was my best sport. As a matter of fact, when I got drafted by the Denver Nuggets, Tom Landry sent me a ticket to come down to Dallas Cowboys.
Wow.
And a lot of people didn't know about that, because Manny Hendricks used to play for Utah, was telling them about me. And Tom Landry sent me the ticket, the trial, and everything, but I didn't take it.
And you could have been a boxer.
Oh, yeah, I won
The
the
story
AAU.
when I went into your neighborhood, hey, Scar can fight. We got to get him some gloves. Was it Golden Gloves or what was it that people used to go watch you?
It was the Golden Glove.
In the ring.
Well, my brother, my oldest brother, Tyrone, was one of the great boxers. Matter of fact, we grew up with Sugar Ray Leonard.
Wow.
And Sugar Ray was fighting before he went to the Olympics. I was fighting, and my brother was boxing in the same Golden Gloves. And we had a great time. And Sugar Ray ended up being who he is. And that's why when I came here, I should like Johnny Topper.
Yeah.
Me and him used to hang out. Johnny used to play ball too.
Yeah, he was a good basketball player.
Yeah, Johnny was a great athlete. See, people don't, we got some great athletes here. They can play all sports.
Johnny was good.
Oh, yeah, but he was a good person. And people didn't understand it a lot, but he was a great person.
Yeah.
He might have done, we all done some things.
He had a demon or two.
But no, he would give his life to help somebody out.
Yes.
And I saw that, and I knew that, you know. And me and him, I think that's why we got along so well, because we was both kind-hearted.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a story. And being the boxing fan that you are, I was beautiful. I love your show. I admire your style. But you pay so cheap, Henry T. I won't be here for a while. Who was your greatest fighter of all time?
Me, personally?
Of all times. Who was the prettiest?
I
Who
think
was the fastest of all time?
I like Muhammad Ali, but I love Sugar Ray Leonard.
Yeah, he was good.
He was part of us growing up in tough situations and came out of it. And he
the
just
night he beat Roberto Duran.
Yeah.
He got in there with
Tommy Hearn.
Oh, what a fight.
And I met Roberto Duran before.
Really?
Oh, I was a big fan of his, too. I met him.
Hagler. The fight with Hagler.
Yeah.
Are those great fights?
Oh, it was sort of like the WAC at the time. You couldn't go and win 2 games on the road. Back then, when boxing, you couldn't have 20 belts. You only had 1 belt. And you had to prove yourself. Now, so many guys transfer. So many guys say, I don't like this school. I don't like that school. I want to leave. You got to earn your right to be on that court.
If you would have went boxing, you and Tommy Hearns would have been a tremendous fight.
Oh, it would have been great.
Who do you pick that night, Hearns or Scarborough?
Oh, I'm picking me. And I think it was just how we grew up. You gave it your best. and you try to do everything you can. You experiment with different sports, and you experiment with. And I used to love to dance. I used to love music. I used to just, anything to escape what was
Yeah.
going on. And I think a lot of us realize that today. And Henry, I try to tell a lot of parents today, because me and Ed Nunez, we're gonna have the 99 to Beat sports show too coming up. And that's something me and Ed was talking. I say a lot of these children and the parents have to understand. You better get an academic scholarship, because athletic scholarship's gonna be cut in half with everything.
Good athletic director.
Yeah, you're gonna need an academic scholarship with the athletic scholarship today. And if you at home, if you're an athlete at home, and if you mad you can't play, and if you upset that you can't do certain things now, just always remember, don't get in trouble, because this is how it's gonna feel. Don't let your grades slip, because this is how it's gonna feel. You on the sideline watching. So this is a very valuable time to understand. Don't take your gift for granted.
Your observation of Dr. Paul Weir's team at UNM.
Yeah.
Right now, what are they lacking? What do they need? How can you change them? How can they be a bigger winner? Your thoughts?
They always can win. That's the problem is not on the court. Paul is Coach Weir is doing a good thing. Got some good assistants, Brandon Mason, and all them type guys. And it's what you do off the court. It have nothing to do with basketball. It's your behavior is what's gonna mislead you. And when you get on the court, now you think everybody thinking they could go pro. But one of the things, I knew I could score. I always knew I could score. I was a scoring champion, elementary, middle school, and high school.
Yeah.
And the first, I woke up, because me and Hunter used to have good talks, Mike Winners. We played the first 7-8 games for UNM. I was averaging 27, 28.
Wow.
In the Maui tournament, and then I started to realize my team was watching me, so I had to get them back involved. And then my assists had went up, because you have to play a team game. You have to involve everyone, and it's not about you. It's really not about you. It's about the jersey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you think Paul Weir is going to be a winner?
I can't say if he is, because we get, we getting the one and done guys, or the one that want to leave, and if they not satisfied, I think the mentality have to change. You have to want to be here. You can't be in New Mexico thinking I should play for UCLA.
Did you want to be here?
Oh, I loved it from the first day I stepped off the plane. I think all of us did. We didn't transfer. I mean, I didn't know had growing up, role model.
Who was it?
Nate Archibald.
Really?
Yeah, he led the league in scoring and assists as a point guard.
Wow.
But I should like Pistol Pete Maravich, and I love my Washington Bullets. We won the championship a couple of times, and it was just anybody who was
Is Earl the Pearl from D.C.?
no Dave Bing and them
Yeah.
and Elgin Bailey.
Ooh.
Yeah, and I grew up with Adrian Dantley. He was older.
Man, Notre Dame.
Yeah, but when I first saw the pit, it wasn't that I came here. It was when I saw the crowd in the pit, it was the NCAA championship. Because 3 of my friends played for North Carolina State. Thurl Bailey, Dirk Wittenberg, and Sidney Lowe.
Gee.
And and my family and my school was like, Kelvin.
They won the NCAA right here.
Yeah, and people were saying, Kelvin, that's where you going to school at?
Lorenzo Charles.
Oh, that was a great team.
You and Lorenzo tight?
No, me and Thurl Bailey and Sidney Lowe. And
Gee.
yeah, but that's where the fans from back home was going to see me where I was going to play. So that's all they was talking about.
You could have been on that team.
Yeah, I could have been on the next year team. Yeah, yeah.
Belvano.
Yeah, he
Good guy.
Yeah, it was good, but it was too close to home.
Yeah. And Mama ruled the roost there.
Oh yeah.
You're going to New Mexico.
You not
Scott.
driving back and forth.
Yeah.
And then she said, you going somewhere where you ain't going to drive back and
God
forth.
bless her.
Oh, she's one
She
of the most
must have
incredible.
been an incredible inspiration to
Yeah,
you.
yeah, to everybody here.
Does it break your heart? Mama gets up in the morning when it's dark, makes your breakfast, gets you ready
Yeah.
for school, catches the bus in the dark, goes and works all day long,
Yeah.
comes home in the dark to make you dinner, to make sure that you do your homework.
Me and my brothers, and one of my brothers is better than me in basketball. I followed him everywhere he went. He was 1 year older than me. He went to, we played at the same elementary, middle school, and high school, and then he went to college in New York. And then he ended up in Langston. But it was all of us as a family and community that helped raise each other.
Mm-hmm.
And I was, Mom would go, and then one day I asked my mom, I say, Mom, why you got to go clean them people's houses? And why you got to, she said, Kelvin, you always remember something. I'm not doing it for them. I'm doing it for y'all. And I'm doing it so y'all will stay out of trouble and y'all have an opportunity at life.
Wow.
So I never questioned her again.
Great lady.
Oh, wonderful. Yeah, wonderful. Man.
What a story.
Yeah.
What's it like for you to come out and you and I are doing TV again today?
Oh, yeah.
Here? We've done it forever.
This is a great throwback. One of the greatest throwbacks. Harry, you know something. We always felt good around each other. We always embrace to what this is what it's all about.
Amen.
It's always, hey, like I said, you knew me since I was 18, man.
I saw you get off the plane
Yeah.
to come here.
Yeah.
And already people knew you were a star.
Right.
When a Lobo gets off the plane,
Right.
he becomes somebody he didn't know he was.
Yeah. Yeah.
He hadn't even walked in the gym yet, and he's signing autographs.
But that's what.
Is that special about this place?
That is Lobo basketball. And Paul Weir, I was telling Steve Alford and Cribbs and them, but they didn't want to hear it at the time. I said, you have to get the players back in the community.
Yes.
You have to embrace the community so the community can embrace you. You know, so.
Speaking about Paul Weir, I won't go into detail.
Yeah.
I just want to ask you about one of the moves under his leadership. 18,101 fans when you came to the pit.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden, it's 14,000. Impulsively, what does that mean? Is it the same place?
No. To be real, it's the same with the players on the floor. He felt good, but where's your student body at? Where's your community to where they selling you out and you know that? And I ain't gonna say it's Paul Weir fault or anybody else fault.
How do you get rid of 4,000 fans, 4,000 seats?
Yeah.
Just abracadabra.
Because
why would you do that?
Because they never embraced New Mexico. They never embraced the history. I'm gonna say Paul Cribb and them. Steve Alford and them. You know, they basketball folks, they athletic folks, but you have to embrace New Mexico to understand that part of it. And that's
but when you walk in there today,
yeah,
it's not the same atmosphere than when you came down the ramp or slam dunked on somebody. The roar isn't the same roar.
Well, I just think, Henry, they don't know if the player's going to last or going to stay here. I think that's what's in everybody's heart and mind, is that if this player going to stay here for 3 years or 4 years, or if they going to get in trouble or not. I think that's the number one question.
You know, you are so articulate. You're so fired up.
Yeah.
Such a great speaker. I think your greatest days are in front of you as a broadcaster.
Well, I just have fun. You know, Henry, that's just the love in me.
Hey, let's do a game together sometime.
Oh, we could do one. Matter of fact, we could go do one right now outside on the courts where people just shooting, playing horse.
Shirts and skins.
Hey, we go do a round the world game. We're gonna broadcast that.
I would love to do a game as a Lobo play-by-play announcer and have Scar right next to me. Would that be a hit?
Oh, that'd
Would
be
we
great.
describe the game?
Oh, we had the most fun. We'd be the original sports center.
Amen. With your enthusiasm and your articulate delivery.
Yeah.
And then I'll tell you what, I'm not bragging, but there will never be more excitement coming out of a broadcaster, past, present, or future, than the excitement I have in my heart for Lobo basketball. And I pray, seriously pray, give me one more game in the pit.
Yeah.
One more. Maybe your buddy Ed Nunes, the AD, will give Henry T one more game. And I'm going to ask our fans to make that happen someday.
Well, I think you should be doing the Lobo How game, because you know how to get the fans into it. You know how to bring the fans back into it.
I'm going to do a game,
No,
Coach.
I know, but we could start off with the
Lobo
Lobo
How?
How, because they have to know who you are. Henry, if them players, I always tell players, hey, you need to talk to Henry T. He have the love in his heart for Lobo basketball. You know, I was great.
Thank you.
Yeah, great friend of mine. I mean, great person of mine. George Michaels, he passed away in D.C. He used to do the sports machine and put the local high school and the colleges and give them time.
I liked him.
Oh, he was great, Henry. He was great. And he used to be our sports center in the 70s and 80s.
Wow.
Yeah.
Look at this micro mirror. Kelvin, I love your story. Brings back a lot of memories of my life. And he had a similar life.
Oh,
You are a big inspiration. Gracias, brother.
appreciate it.
It means
Appreciate
thank
it,
you.
Mike. I appreciate
Eddie
it.
Guerrilla is watching.
Yeah.
Special hi to all of you. And we thank you collectively. Scar, say thank you to your friends.
Oh, I
man.
love them all. That's why I'm here today. Yeah, that's why I'm here today, and I love everybody I came in contact with, and I know we got a lot of things to do with our youth today,
Yeah.
and we just all try to help out each other.
What do you want to do in the future as we wrap up our show today?
I don't know. With all this choking going on, I just want to live.
Yeah, what do you think of the virus? Amen.
No, I just want to live, and my thing is to give back until the day I pass away,
Praise God.
because that's what my mom and them did.
Scar, I don't even want to win in the show. But you got to have lunch, you got to go, and you brought your mask, which I appreciate.
Yeah.
And believe me, I have mine too.
Yeah.
So, and we're like 7 feet apart, maybe 8.
Yeah.
So we're doing our thing.
Yeah.
And I'm just so grateful to you for saying yes.
Oh, I appreciate it. Anytime, man. Anytime you ask. And I think, I believe, when you got great people like you who embraced me when I first came here, it's not hard to say yes. It's not hard for me to go to a rec center or a school or anywhere else to say, I go talk.
See you later, New Mexico, USA, and around the world. I'm Henry T. Be here with me again. Take care.
All right, just waiting for the sponsor cue in the video.
Do we have time?
Yeah. Yeah.
Take 15 seconds.
That hit my heart very heavy. I hope you enjoyed it too. We're going to miss Kelvin Scarborough. He was so good to my son, so good to me, so good to you, so accessible. Well, I tell you what, he engaged with all of our lives and he gave us everything that he had on and off the court. God bless you, Scar. We say that affectionately. Kelvin Scarborough, a real, true Lobo legend. Thank you to our sponsors, ladies and gentlemen. Emissoy Drywall, great guy. Pierre Amistoy, and of course, Ben Lucero. Thank you, Ben, at Indigo Mortgage. Kevin at the canteen, and of course, Rax Lumber Company. All of you, thank you, and others who came to help. Hydro Bar, thank you, Hydro Bar, and Tim Bach and the family. God bless all of you. Thank you to our producer and Jimmy Tran. What a good man, what a good friend. And to all our friends at the great, I'm telling you, when I think of the people that we go for, GovTV, Comcast 26, and Steve Davis and his great group. ProView is doing so many great things. Thank you, ProView. A great studio. A lot of people to thank. But you, the fan, you, the viewer every day, special thanks to you. And Merry Christmas to all of you. We'll see you again on Monday morning. God bless you. Thank you for your support of Henry T. Just had the greatest Christmas ever. But be careful. You gotta wear that mask. See you later. Take care.